Paul Moves Out is a 2005 graphic novel by the Canadian artist Michel Rabagliati. Rabagliati was born in Montreal in 1961. He worked as a graphic designer for many years before turning to comic book art when he was in his 40s. His reputation has grown steadily, and in 2022 he won the Prix Athanase-David Award for Distinguished Literary Achievement. He's chiefly famous for the Paul series, of which Paul Moves Out was the third. It was preceded in the year 2000 by Paul in the Country, and Paul Has a Summer Job in 2003. The whole sequence is deliberately semi-autobiographical. As we might expect, therefore, there's nothing spectacular or outrageous about Paul. He's just a normal, likeable guy. That, however, is part of the strength of the series. What seems everyday and hardly worth mentioning at the time is often the very thing subsequent generations find least retrievable. A record of it might therefore appear ever more necessary, or at least valuable as time goes on. Paul Moves Out is set principally in 1980s Quebec and covers Paul's move into his first apartment with his girlfriend Lucy. Lucy and Paul are commercial art school students, and their lives are transformed when their principal lecturer retires suddenly and a new teacher is appointed, a young cultural radical called Jean-Louis de Rosier, who abruptly announces that advertising art is dead. This is the age of graphic design. De Rosier introduces them to an entire world of abstract creativity they'd only vaguely recognised beforehand, and he also tries unsuccessfully to seduce Paul. There are no villains in this book. Paul introduces Lucy to his parents and she does the same for him. Although things look as if they're about to take a dark turn when the couple photograph one of their sleeping friends in order to play a prank on her and then lose the camera, no bad consequences ensue. The last part of the narrative is taken up by an episode in which they babysit another couple's young children. They have a fabulous time and it persuades them to start thinking about having children of their own. Although the story is superficially breezy, love, life and death all make appearances along the way. Paul's beloved great-aunt passes away, as does in a flash forward his art teacher. But new life continually edges in from the sidelines, not least in the babysitting episode. In other words, although this is a highly upbeat book, it's not oblivious to the ravages of time. Rabagliati's art is clean and conventionally cartoony. He cites the Asterix and Tintin books as among his chief inspirations. In 2006, Paul Moves Out won the Doug Wright Awards for Canadian cartooning. The Paul series is an artistic project that extends beyond the boundaries of the book. Rabagliati's website complements the books with photographs from the author's life, indexing the real events that inspired the graphic novels. Since Paul Moves Out was published in 2005, several more Paul books have appeared, and the series looks likely to continue. The author has suggested that late middle age might introduce a darker note. Given the sunny nature of the artwork, it'll be interesting to see how that works out. All in all, this is a series worth following. If you're at all interested in graphic novels and their power to tell good stories, Paul, in his various life phases, is very much a must-read.